My friends, there is a power in stillness. It's not a power that demands noise, nor is it a power that forces things to happen. No, this is the kind of power that whispers in the quietest of moments, telling you that everything you seek, everything you desire will come when the time is right. Patience is often misunderstood as mere waiting, but true patience is not about sitting idly hoping that things will change on their own. It's about trust. Trust in the process and trust in yourself. It's about knowing that life's timing isn't bound to your demands. Patience is understanding that every step, every challenge, every moment of uncertainty has its place in the journey. We live in a time where everything is fast-paced, and we're constantly urged to move quicker, do more, be better. We've forgotten the art of waiting, the power in pausing. But think about the natural world around us. A seed doesn't rush to grow. It doesn't scream to be noticed or force its way through the earth. It waits, absorbs what it needs, and in time, it breaks free and blossoms. This is the essence of patience. It's the quiet strength in knowing that things will fall into place at the right moment, even when we can't see the whole picture. In moments of uncertainty, when life feels chaotic, patience gives us the courage to stand still, to wait, and to trust. It's in those moments that the real growth happens, not in the rushing, not in the noise, but in the quiet unfolding of time. Patience allows you to see the bigger picture. It teaches you that you don't need to force anything, that what you want or need will come when you've done the work, when you've prepared yourself for it. You don't rush the sunrise, and you don't rush your journey. Patience tells you that there's nothing wrong with waiting. It doesn't mean you're weak or inactive. It simply means you found the courage to trust in timing, to trust that things will come when they're supposed to. The power of patience is not just in the waiting, it's in the wisdom that comes from allowing yourself to simply be, to let life unfold in its own rhythm. In a world that constantly demands action, motion, and noise, there is a remarkable power found in stillness. It's easy to think that strength comes from doing more, moving faster, pushing harder. But true inner strength isn't born from constant activity. It's found in the quiet moments when we stop and allow ourselves to simply be. Stillness is not about weakness or inactivity. It's about harnessing a quiet, unshakable strength that arises when we step away from the chaos and listen to what's happening within. When we're still, we give ourselves the space to connect with something deeper inside. It's in these moments of calm that we truly find our center, the place from which we can draw real power. The world might be screaming at us to act, but in stillness we have the opportunity to listen to our intuition, to listen to our emotions, and to listen to the voice within that speaks more clearly in silence than in noise. Stillness allows us to reflect, to understand the truth of who we are and what we truly need. It gives us the chance to reset, to shed the weight of external expectations, and to focus on what is important to us, not what the world tells us is important. It's in these quiet moments that we make our strongest decisions, because we aren't reacting to pressure, but responding from a place of inner clarity. When we embrace stillness, we connect with an inner wellspring of strength. We realize that we don't need to be constantly engaged in the world to feel powerful. In fact, often it's in those moments of quiet reflection that we find our greatest resilience. When everything around us seems uncertain, when the path forward feels unclear, stillness becomes the source of our strength, grounding us in a way that action alone cannot. In that stillness, we realize that we don't need to be constantly chasing or striving for success. Success doesn't come from an endless pursuit of external validation, but from the deep, unwavering belief in our own strength, our own worth. It's in those moments of peace that we can cultivate a quiet confidence, one that doesn't require loud declarations or frantic activity, but is rooted in the quiet understanding that we are enough as we are. Stillness nurtures our resilience. It teaches us that we don't have to fight the world to find strength. Instead, we learn to flow with it, to be present in the moment. and to trust that the stillness within us is where we draw our greatest power. In life, there are countless factors that lie beyond our control. We cannot dictate the actions of others, the outcomes of every situation, or the unpredictable nature of the world around us. So often, we spend our time trying to control everything, thinking that if we just have enough influence, we can make everything go our way. But the truth is, there's a tremendous amount of freedom in acknowledging that there are things we cannot change. And there's even greater power in focusing on what we can control. When we focus on what we can control, we reclaim our personal power. We stop wasting time and energy on things that have no bearing on our immediate lives, and we direct that energy toward areas where we can make a real impact. This shift is transformative. Instead of constantly feeling like we're fighting against forces outside our influence, we learn to engage with the present moment and take ownership of the things that are within our reach. The first thing we can control is our response. No matter what happens to us, no matter how the world outside reacts, we always have the ability to choose how we respond. This is the bedrock of personal power. When life presents challenges, be it a difficult relationship, a professional setback, or personal struggles, we cannot always control the external circumstances, but we can control how we approach them. We can choose to react with patience, with positivity, with understanding, or with strength. Our responses shape our experiences and determine the quality of our lives. Another critical element we can control is our mindset. Our thoughts shape the way we perceive the world, and our perception influences our reality. When we focus on what we can control, we realize that we have the power to direct our thoughts toward solutions rather than problems, toward opportunities rather than obstacles. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is easy. Rather, it means choosing to see the possibilities even in tough situations. It means being resilient enough to adapt to life's changes and to focus on how we can grow and evolve regardless of the circumstances. Our actions are also within our control. Every day we have the opportunity to make choices that align with our goals, values, and aspirations. It's easy to feel powerless when things seem out of our control. But by focusing on our actions, we tap into a vast well of potential. Every small step we take toward the life we want to build is a reflection of the power we have to shape our future. By committing to consistent, purposeful action, we take responsibility for our progress and set the stage for success, no matter how the world around us shifts. Even in times of uncertainty, we can control our habits. The routines we form, whether it's dedicating time to our health, learning, or personal growth, are entirely in our hands. Healthy habits cultivate stability and consistency in a world that can often feel chaotic. When we commit to controlling the things that we can, like our daily habits, we create a foundation of self-discipline that helps us navigate the turbulence of life with confidence and clarity. Finally, we have control over our time. Time is one of the few resources that we all share equally, yet how we choose to spend it determines the trajectory of our lives. We cannot control how much time we have, but we can control how we invest it. We can choose to spend our time on activities that nurture our well-being, deepen our relationships, and help us pursue our dreams. By prioritizing our time, we make deliberate choices that reflect our values and our aspirations, ensuring that we use our time wisely and meaningfully. When we focus on what we can control, we stop feeling like life is happening to us, and we start realizing that we have the power to shape our own narrative. We embrace our personal responsibility and understand that while we can't control everything, we can control how we show up in this world. This realization is not only empowering, it's liberating. By focusing on our responses, our mindset, our actions, our habits, and our time, we can create a life that is truly our own, one that reflects the best of what we can offer. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and constant information, clarity has become a rare and precious commodity. We often find ourselves overwhelmed by the volume of thoughts, opinions, and external pressures that cloud our judgment and make it difficult to see things clearly. Yet clarity is the foundation upon which wisdom is built. Without it, we are lost in a sea of confusion, unable to make the decisions or take the actions that will lead us to growth and fulfillment. When we learn to clear the noise and cultivate clarity, we open the door to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Clarity begins with the ability to quiet the mind. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it's easy to become distracted by the endless stream of information we receive. Social media, the news, conversations with others. These things can all blur our vision and prevent us from focusing on what truly matters. However, when we embrace stillness, when we take the time to disconnect from the noise, we allow our thoughts to settle. It is in this silence that clarity emerges. By stepping away from the external chatter, we give ourselves the space to process, reflect, and gain a deeper understanding of our thoughts and feelings. Clarity doesn't just appear, it's cultivated in the moments of quiet that allow us to align our minds with our inner truth. Once we have clarity, we begin to see things as they truly are. Clarity enables us to sift through the noise and focus on what is important, leaving behind distractions that only serve to confuse and complicate. It allows us to identify the core of a situation, to see beyond surface-level details and get to the heart of the matter. With clarity, we no longer react impulsively to every challenge or opportunity. Instead, we respond with intention and purpose. We begin to understand the bigger picture and how each decision we make impacts the trajectory of our lives. Along with clarity comes wisdom. Wisdom is not just knowledge. It's the ability to apply that knowledge in a way that serves our highest good. It's the understanding that what we know is just one part of the equation, but how we use that knowledge is what truly matters. Wisdom comes from experience, from having lived through both the highs and lows and learning from each of those moments. It's the ability to take a step back and see the long-term effects of our actions rather than being caught up in the urgency of the moment. Wisdom allows us to make decisions not out of fear or impulse, but out of a deep understanding of our values, goals, and the consequences of our choices. Clarity and wisdom also go hand in hand when it comes to decision-making. When we're clear about our intentions and desires, we can make choices that align with our true purpose. The path forward becomes less murky, and we can take confident steps even in the face of uncertainty. It's in these moments of clarity that we're able to separate the fleeting from the permanent, choosing what will bring lasting fulfillment rather than temporary satisfaction. Wisdom teaches us patience and perspective, reminding us that not every decision needs to be rushed, and that sometimes the best course of action is simply to wait for more clarity to emerge. The clarity that leads to wisdom also helps us to better understand others. When we are clear in our own thoughts and feelings, we become more attuned to the emotions and perspectives of those around us. We become better listeners, able to truly hear what others are saying without the distortion of our own biases or preconceptions. This level of understanding allows us to offer advice, guidance, and compassion with greater empathy and insight. Wisdom comes not just from intellectual understanding, but from emotional intelligence, knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to step back. Clarity and wisdom are both internal and external forces. They shape how we view ourselves and how we engage with the world. They are the result of continuous self-reflection, learning, and growth. The more we cultivate clarity, the more wisdom we gain, and the more we are able to navigate the complexities of life with grace, confidence, and purpose. These qualities don't come overnight. They are developed through patience, practice, and a commitment to understanding both the world and ourselves. One of the most difficult aspects of life is learning to trust the timing of things. In a world that values instant gratification and quick results, we are often tempted to rush, to push, to try to control the pace at which our dreams unfold. We want things to happen now, on our timeline, according to our own sense of urgency. However, there is a profound wisdom in learning to trust that everything will come when it is meant to. When trusting in timing means releasing the need to force things, to rush toward the future, and instead surrendering to the natural rhythm of life. Timing is something that often eludes our control. We may plan, we may work hard, and we may set goals, but life has a way of unfolding in its own time. The beauty of trusting in timing lies in the realization that there are forces beyond our understanding that guide our journey. Everything happens when it's supposed to. The moments of success, the moments of struggle, the relationships, the opportunities, they all arrive at their appointed time when we are truly ready for them. This doesn't mean that we sit passively and wait for life to happen, but rather we align our actions with the flow of life, understanding that not everything is meant to happen on our schedule. Trusting in timing involves accepting that there is a process to everything. Just as a flower doesn't bloom the moment it's planted, neither do our efforts always yield immediate results. Growth takes time. When we're patient enough to wait for the right moment, we allow ourselves to evolve along the way, preparing ourselves for what's to come. The delays, the waiting periods, and the detours are not obstacles. They are part of the process. They teach us lessons, refine our character, and strengthen our resolve. In the end, we are often more prepared for the opportunities we receive when we trust that life is unfolding at the pace it's meant to. Another aspect of trusting in timing is understanding that not all opportunities are right for us in the moment they first appear. Many times we get caught up in the urgency of a situation and feel the pressure to act quickly. However, just because something is available to us doesn't mean it's the right fit or the right time. By trusting in timing, we allow ourselves to pause, to reflect, and to be honest with ourselves about whether an opportunity is truly aligned with our path. This ability to step back and wait for the right moment often leads us to choices that are more fulfilling and aligned with our true desires. There is also a profound peace that comes with trusting in timing. It's easy to become anxious when things aren't progressing as quickly as we'd like. But when we release the anxiety of trying to control the timing, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress. Trusting in timing means understanding that life's rhythms are beyond our control and that sometimes the best thing we can do is to wait for the right circumstances to align. When we do this, we move through life with greater ease, knowing that things will fall into place as they should. Life's timing is also a reminder that we are not alone in this journey. There is a greater force, whether you believe in the universe, a higher power, or the natural laws of life, that is guiding us toward the right opportunities and moments. When we trust in timing, we tap into the flow of this greater force, allowing it to lead us rather than fighting against it. This connection to something larger than ourselves offers reassurance that we are exactly where we need to be, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. Trusting in timing is a practice of surrender. It's a decision to stop resisting the natural flow of life and instead to go with the current. It's about knowing that, just like the seasons change without our interference, the right things will happen when the time is right. By embracing this truth, we open ourselves up to the miracles that unfold when we stop forcing the issue and allow life to take its course. It's not always easy to trust, but when we do, we gain a sense of peace and faith that things will work out in the perfect timing, even if we can't see it yet. Self-discovery and growth are integral parts of the human experience, but they are often viewed as complex, daunting processes. Many of us seek clarity and answers in the external world, looking for validation, approval, and guidance from others. Yet, true self-discovery begins from within. It is a journey that requires introspection, vulnerability, and a willingness to face both our strengths and our weaknesses. This path, though sometimes challenging, is where we uncover our most authentic selves and unlock our greatest potential. Self-discovery is a process of exploration, not just of the world around us, but of the inner workings of our minds, emotions, and desires. It is about taking the time to ask ourselves the hard questions. Who am I? What do I truly want? What are my core values? By engaging in this deep self-reflection, we begin to uncover layers of our identity that may have been hidden or buried. We realize that we are not defined solely by our past, by the roles we play in the lives of others, or by external expectations. Instead, we are complex, evolving beings with infinite possibilities for growth and reinvention. One of the first steps in self-discovery is shedding the masks we wear for the world. Often we are shaped by society's expectations, family dynamics, or relationships that tell us who we should be. But in order to discover who we truly are, we must let go of these external labels and allow ourselves to stand in our authenticity. This requires courage because it often means stepping away from the comfort of familiar identities and embracing the uncertainty of becoming. The journey of self-discovery asks us to break free from the constraints of our own self-limiting beliefs and step into the fullness of who we can be. As we uncover more about ourselves, we begin to identify our true desires and passions. We often spend much of our lives trying to fit into molds that are not our own, measuring our worth by the achievements or approval of others. But true fulfillment comes when we align our actions and choices with what genuinely excites and motivates us. In the process of self-discovery, we reconnect with our passions, tapping into the deep wells of creativity and inspiration that fuel our sense of purpose. We stop living to please others and start living for ourselves, embracing the joy of creating a life that is meaningful and authentic. Growth is an essential companion to self-discovery. Once we have a clear understanding of who we are, we begin to take deliberate steps toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Growth is about constantly evolving, pushing beyond our comfort zones, and striving to be better than we were yesterday. This journey is not linear. It involves moments of progress and setbacks, successes and failures. Growth is not about achieving perfection. It is about learning from each experience, continuously refining ourselves, and moving forward with intention. Part of growth is embracing challenges, because it is in adversity that we discover our true strength. Each obstacle, each difficult experience is an opportunity for growth. When we face challenges, we are forced to confront parts of ourselves that we might otherwise avoid. Our fears, insecurities, and limitations. These moments, though painful, are often the most transformative. They are the times when we learn our deepest lessons and develop resilience, character, and wisdom. Without challenges, there would be no growth. It is through overcoming adversity that we cultivate the strength needed to navigate the complexities of life and to continue our journey towards self-actualization. Self-discovery and growth are intimately connected. As we grow, we learn more about ourselves. And as we uncover more of who we are, we become more capable of embracing change and transformation. This cycle of self-discovery and growth is continuous. It does not have a definitive endpoint. Each day offers an opportunity to learn something new, to step into a new version of ourselves, and to expand our horizons. The beauty of this journey is that it is uniquely ours. No one else can walk it for us, and no one else can define it. It is a lifelong process of becoming, of shedding old layers, and of stepping into our highest potential. Through self-discovery and growth, we ultimately find not only who we are, but who we are meant to become.